Hey guys, so we're going to be going over this new scoring 2.0 that's going to be coming out. I actually shot a Mesite Ibex and I completely Swiss cheesed his ass just to show you some stuff. I'm going to go over all of the new requirements for each animal, the new levelings for each like the new levels that the animals have, and the new how the weapons got reworked and everything like that. So, second, we hit 1,500 subscribers, which is pretty dope. After being gone for so long and started reloading my videos, I did not think that a lot of people would watch me, but thankfully people do. So, I Swiss cheese this Mesite Ibex, or yeah, I don't know how that didn't hit his brain, but whatever. You can see integrity and quick kill are perfect. But I'm gonna leave him up on the screen for a minute because I'm gonna go over all of the animals and their new classes, and then explain something. Because all of this quick kill integrity consecutive is gonna be gone pretty much. The overall score is going to become this thing called session score. And what we're worried about is the trophy rating and the new 4 requirements of that shoot with the right weapon, get a vital hit, did I mess up the trophy organs, which in this case would be the horns, because if I had pulled this shot off after the new patch, this would have been disqualified because I shot him in the head. Now I was just trying to drop him for instructional purposes, but I have never seen anyone shoot a deer in the head and think honestly that whatever was up there is going to stay there. So, the new classes of everything right here is going to be class 1s are going to be your birds, rabbits like jackrabbits, geese, stuff like that. Class 2, red fox, jackal, coyote, and musk deer. Class 3 is roe deer, lynx, springbuck, blackbuck, and axis deer. Class 4 is the largest, and they spread across the most amount of maps. So it's going to be mouflon, all four species of ibex, fallow deer, blacktail, whitetail, kudu, warthog, and wild boar. Class 5 has 3, with both of the wolves, Iberian and gray, and pumas. Class 6, reindeer, caribou, mule deer, red deer, blue wildebeest. 7 is black bear, brown bear, and grizzly bear. 8 is elk, gemsbuck, and moose. 9 is lion, both species of bison, Cape buffalo, and water buffalo. So I'm going to throw these up on the screen too at the same time, so you can pause and see. And a lot of people are thinking, oh, well, with this, we don't have to worry about quick kill and integrity. You can just shoot anything and you're going to be able to get a diamond handed to you. Not so fast, home slice, because I have it pulled up right now. And this Mesite Ibex wouldn't even have been a gold, matter of fact, being a level 4, because a minimum for a gold is 153.4. This guy was 152.9. And a minimum score for a diamond after this is 207.4. And the minimum for silver is 81.5. So this would have been a big silver. That would have been a big silver right there. And he's pretty good size, so I wouldn't think that they're just gonna hand it to you. And for the most part, I feel like this is gonna open up for when they do something like non-typicals in the future, because they can adjust things and change things. It's gonna be a lot easier to deal with it than having the 0 through 1,000 and having trophy ratings that don't really make any sense, because it really wasn't tacked on as the main thing that scored your animal. It just went along with it, because you can get two animals that score roughly the same and the trophy rating would be a little bit different, showing that it really didn't matter as much as something as quick kill integrity and the body weight of the animal. So for the rifles, I'm going to go over what um, their new classes are and what they're permitted for. So instead of just being locked into one class and only being able to hunt that class and what's above it, you're going to get a class permission Like you're going to be able to shoot animals through this class, not say the 30-06, or actually that's a bad example. The Mosin is a class 2, and you can hunt through everything through class 2 through 4, but you're not really going to do very well against level 4s because it's not, you know, it'll make sense once I tell you all of these permitted classes for each of them. So I'm going to do rifles first. The 22 is obviously a class 1, so that's like the birds and shit. The 223 was changed from a 2 and 3 to a 2 through 4, so you can shoot everything from like fox all the way up to whitetail with a 223, which isn't unheard of. Some people say it's not good at doing it, which I'm not saying it's not the best. It's not like the most recommended thing, but I do know in some places they do it, so you can. Anything outside of those classes, though, it's not going to give you the full score. If you make saying if you shot like a big animal and you didn't do one of the 4 required things, you didn't use the permitted weapon. So if you shot a class 5 with the 223, it's going to disqualify it because you did not shoot it with something like the 243 or anything that's class 5. So next is the 45 caliber air rifle, which is going to be in the same classes as the 223, which is 2 through 4. The 243, the very beginning gun that you get, everybody has, is a 2 through 6. So you can shoot everything from coyotes and foxes all the way up to reindeer and caribou with it, which might not be the most optimal thing, but it covers a lot of the animals in the game, so you can get away with doing that. So next is going to be the 30-30, which is going to be the same thing, 2 through 6. Next is going to be the Mosin 7.62, and that's going to be a 3 through 7. So you can hunt anything from roe deer to bear with it. The 6.5 is next, and that's a 4 through 8. So basically whitetail size all the way up to elk. And that's the same thing with the 270 and the 30-06. Next is the 45-70, which is a 4 through 9, and everyone knows the 45-70 in Classic was a monster, and it was meant for big game only, but is a very rounded gun. I have one of these in real life, and you can hunt pretty much anything through, whitetail. People hunt elk with them. Like you can change the round to hunt anything you want, and we have 2 versions right here, hollow point and soft point flat nose, and you're gonna get your penetration out the flat nose. And something else that bothers me is that this isn't a 45-70 bullet. This right here, that looks like a 30-30 because 45-70 is a straight wall, and it's not super long, but it's kind of long and it's thick. It's straight wall all the way up. And if anybody knows what a 45-70 looks like, this is not a 45-70. I really want them to change that. So hopefully that does get changed. That's one thing that's been bothering me for a very long time. But like I was saying, you can change the round to hunt whatever you're going after. You can change the weight of it to get better. It would just handle lighter animals better. Use a heavier, more dense kind of bullet to handle thicker, big game animals like elk and stuff. Next, the 7mm. Now, before the second beta, it wasn't like this. It was a 5 through 9, but now it's a 4 through 9. So you can use the 7mm to shoot anything from whitetail all the way to like buffalo. So that's something. The 9.3 is a 5 through 9. 300 Win Mag is a 7 through 9. Same with the 338. And the 470 Nitro is a class 9 only. Now, gonna get into pistols. The 45 Long Colt is a 2 through 5. 357 Magnum is a 2 through 6. The 44 Magnum is a 3 through 8. 454 a 4 through 9. So you can use the 454 on anything from whitetail, blacktail, and up. That's going to be interesting. Now we're going to get over to my next two favorite parts, the shotgun and the bows, and I'll explain why. So every single one of the bird shots from 410 to 12 gauge is a class 1, obviously. 20 gauge buckshot is a class 2 through 3. 16 gauge buckshot is a 2 through 4. 12 gauge buckshot is a 2 through 5. I don't really agree with the 20 gauge buckshot only being a 2 and a 3 because I've hunted deer with a 20 gauge buckshot. Now, the slugs. This is my favorite part. 20 gauge and 16 gauge slugs are a 4 through 7, and a 12 gauge slug is a 4 through 8. The reason why I'm so happy about that is because I've always wanted to hunt whitetail in this game with a 12 gauge with slugs, because everyone fucking does that, and for the longest time we couldn't do it, but now we can. And the 7 mil. The 7 mil can shoot whitetail now, so that's good. And now the next thing is bows. So your 300 grain is going to be a 1 and 2. The 420s are going to be a 2 through 7. And here comes the one of the better things is that the recurve is now going to finally be able to shoot whitetail, blacktail, anything like that. Oh, excuse me, damn. The 540 grains aren't going to be locked to class 3 and up anymore. And you can hunt anything from whitetail, blacktail, all the way up to moose. So finally, the recurve is getting some love, and people will probably be using it more. And the 600 grain broadheads are going to be a 7 through 9, which is going to be anything from black bear all the way up to water buffalo and cave buffalo and stuff. So finally, that's fixed to where the guns are more viable for different kinds of animals other than what we had going on. Like, I'm so glad that this is happening, especially to the guns. Even if we didn't get the true like the scoring, like even if it was still the 0 through 1000 and the weapons got these changes, I would be okay with it. But I'm glad all of this is coming and all these changes come in Caldwell, because this opens up a lot of new things to come in the future. So yeah, basically the game is moving in the right direction for me. And all the people who are saying all this is going to take the fun out of the game, no, it's actually going to make you work harder and understand. You're going to have to start looking at the head of the animal to judge rack size, and that is going to that's going to force you basically to pay attention to what you're shooting before you shoot it, and not base everything off the weight of the animal and get a higher score. So I enjoy what's getting ready to happen. The gameplay in the background, I'm just walking around Cotricolinus. It's not really anything important. As you can see, I've only shot one animal, and it was for instructional purposes only. So anyways, hopefully you like these changes as well, because I know I do. And if you want to see anything different, especially if they happen to do a third beta, I'll jump into it. But if not, then expect me playing this a lot when the changes come. And we'll go through my entire trophy lodge to see if it changes any of your animals that are already in there based on the rating, because I want to see that. So those animals that I may or may not have messed up, like that one huge 979 diamond red deer, after this, if it changes it, it will be a diamond. So we'll see what happens. We'll go through my lodge after the patch to see, or the update. We'll go through there to see if it changed any animals in there based on what rating they had. So anyways, guys, I will see y'all later.